Happy to interact with the students, because last year only I was a student in Ahmedabad, and I did my second MBA. So just to brief myself and how I have started, and I'd like to be more interactive with all of you. And the topic what Veer sir has given us is that how to build up a current agribusiness, right? So I'll tell you both pros and cons of agribusiness management and what are the opportunities we have. Is it a right stream or not? How I took it agribusiness, and I'll tell you all. So basically, I'm from Patna, and I'm a veterinary graduate. So I always say I'm a veterinarian first, and I did my veterinary science from Jammu Veterinary College in 2005. I passed out. Then did a little practice as a practitioner in Gurgaon, and I was preparing for MBAs as well that time. The aspiration was to get into IIMs and do an MBA instead of going for a government job, right? So I did my MBA from 2007-9 from Manage Hyderabad, which is again into an agribusiness specialization. And there was a very basic reason to do was also. So if you see, like, I got calls from many colleges, General MBA, Narsi Munji, Symbiosis, but I preferred agribusiness on the reason being I was from an agri and allied science, right? Veterinary science, agribusiness, and forestry, and all these subjects were allied sciences. So I always wanted to explore myself and as a career into agribusiness. The reason being very clearly, I had a subject matter understanding for veterinary science, and many of my batchmates and colleagues were having agribusiness and agriculture understanding. Somebody was coming from agriculture university, someone was coming from horticulture, somebody from forestry, and I was from veterinary science. We had 3 students from veterinary science. So Manage gave a very good platform and a very strong exposure to the industry. These kind of talks we used to do a lot when we were in Manage as well, to understand where I will be fitting the best in when I get into corporate life. So I did my agribusiness from there, and I'm happy that I was placed. 0-day placement happens in Thomson Reuters, which had a product called Reuters Market Light. So I used to work for them, where we used to supply and provide information to farmers on mandi prices, weather forecast, largely a personalized, customized, and localized information selling business. So I worked with them for around 18 to 19 months in Punjab, right? And then I moved into other pet food company, which is a US company called Mars International Pedigree. So I joined them as a business manager for Karnataka, and worked for them for 3 years, understand the category. And as a veterinarian, as I say, I was always a pet lover. So I joined them because it was a pet and business. First idea was to get into a pet food company was to use both of my degrees of business management, understanding of business, how a business is run, how you build up a brand, and also should not miss out my core competency of being a veterinarian. So I joined them, worked for 3 years. Then I joined as a regional manager for Drools Pet Food, and went to Calcutta and started handling their East operations. Then after 5 years, I got promoted as a national sales director. And after 3 years of that, I became the CEO of the company. If I talk about Drools, Drools is a homegrown Indian pet food brand, and happy to share it's the first multinational pet food company from India. So we export to more than 24, 25 countries, and very happy that an Indian brand, Indian company is carrying the Indian flag in different parts of the world in pet food category, where no other company is there right now. So that is the journey I have been through career-wise. And the reason I tell you, when I was doing my MBA and wanted to go for MBA, the understanding and I interacted with a lot of people from even the graduate from IIM Ahmedabad and other B schools, which were very, and we always used to look upon like, oh, I am from Manage, somebody from IIM Ahmedabad, somebody from IIM Kozhikode. I tell you the major difference which I saw among our skill set and the graduates who were coming, because I later worked as a management trainee. When I joined Thomson Reuters, we had other colleagues coming from IIM Ahmedabad as well. So the difference I saw among them, where I think these kind of SGI talks and exposure to the industry is very, very critical. The major difference from a very good reputed institution and the colleges which are just building up now or growing now is the kind of exposure the guys get it, the students get it, right? How much you are informed or how much you are aware how to source the information. And when you have a information, you are able to take decisions. So are your decisions information led, or your decision are just if somebody is doing, I'm also doing. So I'm here to do agribusiness management. Why? I don't know. Somebody told me to do. It's a good, go and do it. That's correct. If you have come into this also, try to increase your exposure as much as possible. Try to gather as much as information. Which companies, agri input is there? Then what are the banks doing in agriculture domain? What are the consumer goods companies are doing? What are the e-com companies are doing agribusiness? So lot of information you should gather when you are in colleges, and this is the best time to collect that. You have now you get, like when I was in 2009, 7-9, Wi-Fi was not that available easily, right? It was available, but not that as free. You have to go to library to do the Wi-Fi and all those things, right? Now everybody has on smartphone having there and all. So collect data as much as possible, and drive as much as possible your knowledge and the correct. See, idea is to get the best fitment. See, everybody has come to MBA to get a job, right? Or become an entrepreneur in the future, right? So if you are in the both aspect, the getting a job or starting up something of your own, the best thing is to get the understanding of fitment. Somebody can be a very good in sales, somebody can be very good in HR, somebody can be very good in finance, right? So by chance, if a HR guy is getting into sales and a sales guy getting into HR, both are good, right? But the fitment is not correct. So you need to work on fitment, which comes when it's something like lock and key, right? So the perfect lock only will open, or the perfect key only will open the lock, right? There are many other keys are there, but everybody cannot open the lock. So the fitment is important. If my strength is in finance, my strength is in sales and business development, my strength is in HR, I should try to get to those kind of jobs and roles which is offered. Now, very clearly understanding, all will not get the desired kind of companies and roles coming to the campus to get recruited, right? So then how I improve myself? If I'm informed that these kind of roles, my seniors got placed into these kind of companies, my college is able to get these kind of companies for placements, you should all try to get information what that role demands. And you have 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years before you set for placements. You should try to understand if that role needs more of my Excel sheets to be better, or that rules needs to my analytics to be better, or my role understand more of people management better. Then you can improve yourself. You can take your professors' help. You can take a lot of seniors' help, your alumni's help, and you can do small project during this two-year tenure on those roles basis. So what happens, for example, if you know that summers is coming up, summer 2 years project has to go, 2 months of summer training has to be there. Try to find in summers, because you're not going to hire permanently there. Companies have project. You can ask them also that alongside of this project, can I do some kind of other projects also, which you are aware after gathering information that these kind of roles can be coming for people come to hire us. So that is one is fitment. Other is now differentiation. Like everybody a graduate there in the college right now, right? Everybody is a graduate. Maybe many of you will be agriculture graduate. So when you sit for the interviews, or when you sit for the panel, or when you sit for any written test with the companies for placements or summer placements, and if the recruiter asks you, how do you differentiate among all the batch of 60 or 50 you have? There are 30 guys with agriculture graduate. Out of the 10 are gold medalist also. You are also a gold medalist and agriculture graduate. How you are different? What have you done? Right? Why should I pick you, not the other guy? Right? So everybody's going to compete among yourselves. There you need to create that differentiation factor, right? We call it as in our normal selling USP, unique selling proposition. What is the one which will help to sell you better, to sell and market you better than the other guy sitting in the room or waiting for the interview, right? So these kind of practices will come only, or these kind of exposure will come only when you do a lot of projects with the companies, when you talk to your seniors, when you expose yourself to a lot of alumni talks, or you call your exposure in terms of learning that where is. So know yourself first. That's the KYC. Do you know yourself or not? Then you know about your companies who are coming for placements. Then you know about the roles, what they are going to offer you. And then are you getting yourself ready for that, so that you become the perfect key for that lock, right? That is something you should drive in. Then third aspect you will say will be the interest area, right? Maybe I am good at HR, but my interest is to get into finance, right? Or so is it a blockade that I can't get into finance at all? So you can obviously, when you start adding, so the colleges will be providing a lot of uh, courses or credit will be there for certain finance course. But if you're really looking for interest in building, you can do some certification courses. I tell you my example, when I was in manage, and I come from a family background where 99% people are in banks. My father was in Reserve Bank of India. My brother-in-law was in Punjab National Bank. So everybody was bank. And I came with a mindset that I also have to go into a bank. I'll also go for finance. I'm a veterinarian, came to manage, which is not good in, is never recognized as a finance institute, right? It was more of a marketing institute for input companies, agri input companies. But I thought I'll try to get into finance because my background is like that. I started doing CFA, this is a Chartered Financial Analyst course, and there are like 3-4 exams you have to pass. I cleared 1 or 2 exams also. But what happened then? I was trying to improve my skills to get into a finance organization or a role in finance when I get placement. But whatever you say, 2009, when the placement started, it was a recession year. 2007-9 was a great recession we all have heard about. So the company said we're not coming, and it was a financial recession first. So all the banks and said we'll not be coming for recruitment this year. Perfectly fine. They didn't come because that was their control. That was in their control, and it was not in my control. I cannot help it out. So I got this information at least 2.5-3 months before the placement starts. I started preparing myself for other roles like sales, business development, and for that I started doing small projects. My summer project was with BASF. I spoke to my mentor when he was my summer training there. I asked him what kind of sales roles you guys offer and what happens there. So he told me that what kind of people we look into when I'm going to hire somebody. So you should prepare for those stuff so that you will be able to hire, you will get hired faster. And I worked on that time. And when my interview happened, the day 1, day 0, I got selected. Me and one girl was there. We both got selected. So in 3 months, I tried to shift my gears, try to understand, oh, finance is not going to happen. I cannot give up, right? Oh, finance is not going to happen. Leave it now. What to do? Let's go back to try for a government job or something. No, I have had 3 months of time in my hand. I prepared myself, improved my selling understandings. I sales marketing roles, books I read a lot, understand the concepts, what happens, and practical knowledge also from my mentor who was in BASF, that what a sales team guy happens or a business development manager role happens when he is into market, how his whole day is planned, what is forecasting, what is budgeting, everything I tried to understand from him and improve myself. So even if I had an interest in finance, if recession would not have been there, I would have been in a finance company. So for that, I started adding certifications to myself, and it didn't happen. So I prepared myself something else. So idea is that get informed, try to as much as informed about yours, not only about the role or the companies will recruit you, but also about yourself. Then you see where you fit the best. And if you have a specific interest area, you're looking to have a very particular interest area, please work on that by adding some knowledge and some skills over the time when you are in the college. See, once you pass out from the college, once you go to the job and you want to daily drive, so the organizations have objectives, you have the objectives, there always trade-off happens, right? So college is the best time to improve yourself. You have ready guidance available from the professors in the campus. You have ready solutions available from your peers, right? Nobody teaches you something. That your best teachers are your friends and peers around you. So if you you do some project, somebody does the other project. So all those things, when you keep doing, it becomes much easier for you to solve things. And college is a perfect place to do and get a right direction. So this is something before MBA I did. When I joined the companies, then obviously you do not read it too much that time and don't read textbooks and all, but your local daily work start happening and all. But do read good books, right? Which are business management books or basic books. I'll recommend you a few of the books you should read now also on the campus. There's a book called Catalyst. You should read that book. Again talks about the fitment, how it's written by, I think, ex-CEO of Pidilite, I think. And he has done a wonderful, very simple language, but it gives you a very clear direction what should be your approach. But I read it after like 5-6 years in my job, And I thought, why didn't I get this book when I was in college? I would have improved a lot better. So all these things are, so when you go to the work, obviously work will demand a lot. You'll feel it, work-life balance is happening, a lot of stress is there, and I have to meet targets, or I have to prepare reports. But try to find out at least 1 hour or 1.5 hours in a week at least, where you spend the time which you like to do the most, right? Maybe it's reading, or maybe talking to people of your interest area, of your common interest groups. Talk to them as much as possible, understand, so that you have something happening along with your work as well. And then you will not repent that, oh, I did only 2 years of work, I didn't add anything to myself. So work in that direction also. Reading is always very, very helpful, which keeps adding. So I personally love to read Economic Times and Business Standard. Every day newspaper I read. I do not miss, whatever be the case. I try to be always reading the newspapers for sure, right? So, and that is a habit I developed when I was started preparing my MBA. So since that, I keep on reading. Some of the books also I read, and be active. Today, LinkedIn, then we have the social networks available to connect to the right kind of people, right mindset of people. That is very, very important. So once you get placed, I think you'll have a lot of learning coming from the organizations as well, but do keep 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours in a week for you to read for sure. So awareness, interest, fitment, and keep on learning. The cycle has to keep moving. You cannot just say, oh, I got the job now, this is the end of my life. No, this is just the beginning actually. So you have to improve a lot, right? And as I said, I did my, again, I am Ahmedabad Senior Manager Program last 1 year. While doing work, I was promoted as a CEO, and doing work also had some personal challenges as well. But still, we did this course, which is for 1 year, and it was like you have to go to campus as well. You have to go every Saturday class as well. So, and do some homework projects. So all these things goes together. You have time. Everybody has 24-hour time. In that only can be managed. It's only our mindset which says, oh, I'm too much tied up with my work. I can't do anything extra. Take out time. You always have the time. So you have to work on that so that you get clarity on your future movements, right? So that is something you need to drive. And but still, if those who are having 1 year plus in still campus, or 1.5 years, I think it will be great to utilize this time. Do not miss a single day to learn and add to your skills in the college, because nothing improves yourself as a person and as a human being than the college and your school life and your college life. So I think that's will be really, really important.